Night had silently enveloped Hong Kong. It was a humid summer night in 1972, and inside an old martial arts hall in Kowloon, there were only two people. Bruce Lee was 32 years old and at his peak. His body was honed sharp as a sword, every movement the result of years of discipline. As he entered the hall, one would notice that even his footsteps carried a perfect rhythm. In his black kung fu pants and bare torso, his muscles gleamed like a bronze statue in the dim light. Across from him stood an 18-year-old stuntman. Jackie Chan was nobody yet, a shadow falling, spinning, and suffering in dangerous scenes at Golden Harvest Studios. But there was something in this youth that Bruce immediately recognized. A fearless curiosity and a spirit willing to push boundaries. "I know you've been watching me," said Bruce in his Cantonese accent. His voice was soft but sharp. "On the sets every day, why?" Jackie bowed his head. "Because you're different, Sifu. You don't just fight. You dance, but nobody understands that dance." A slight smile appeared on Bruce's lips. "You think you understand?" "No," said Jackie honestly, "but I want to learn." The silence stretched. Bruce scrutinized the young man from head to toe. His body bore wounds, bruises, injuries everywhere. This boy knew pain. He knew it very well. 10 minutes, Bruce said finally. "For 10 minutes you'll face me. No rules, no limits. Just you and me. If you can stay standing, I'll teach you something. If you can't, you'll never follow me again." Jackie swallowed but didn't back down. "Agreed." Bruce walked toward the hall, removed his shoes. The wooden floor was cold beneath his feet. Jackie did the same. Both knew this wasn't an ordinary training session. This was some kind of test, a rite of passage. Bruce looked at the old clock on the wall. The second hand moved silently forward. "Time starts now," he said. "Are you ready?" Jackie took a deep breath, made fists with his hands. "I'm ready." "Begin." Jackie didn't hesitate. With an acrobatic move he'd learned at the Peking Opera School, he leapt into the air, approaching as if to deliver a spinning kick. But Bruce wasn't there. He flowed like water, passed by the young man, and gently pushed from behind. Jackie staggered forward a few steps but didn't lose his balance. He immediately turned, threw a punch. Bruce didn't block the punch. He caught it. He held the wrist in his palm, but then gently rotated it and directed Jackie's arm using his own momentum. The young man rolled to the ground with his own force. "Not force," said Bruce in a calm voice. "Flow." Jackie got up, breathing hard but his eyes shining. He attacked again, this time faster, more erratic. Punches, kicks, elbows, agile movements in Peking opera style, acrobatic turns. Bruce was reading everything, as if he were inside the young man's mind. Every attack went into emptiness, Bruce simply passing by with minimal movements. 2 minutes passed. Sweat was dripping from Jackie's forehead, but he wasn't giving up. Every attack was a learning experience. He was trying to read Bruce's movements, trying to understand his patterns. But there was no pattern. Every moment was different, like water. Then Bruce counterattacked for the first time. A single finger toward Jackie's chest. The speed was incredible. Jackie barely evaded, but Bruce's finger touched his shoulder and a feeling like an electric shock seized his arm. The young man stumbled backward. "Power is in focus," said Bruce. "You're scattered. You're wasting energy. Every movement must have a purpose. Show me why you're here." Something flashed in Jackie's eyes. He understood. This wasn't just a physical test. Bruce was testing his spirit, his will, his character. The young man stopped, took a deep breath, closed his eyes. For a moment, all the noise outside was silenced. Then when he opened them again, there was a different clarity in his eyes. He attacked again, but this time it was different. Fewer movements, but more meaningful. Every punch, every kick was thrown with intention. Bruce felt this and nodded slightly. He was improving, but it wasn't enough. This time Bruce took it seriously. He suddenly lunged forward, testing Jackie's defense. Quick jabs, low kicks, sudden direction changes. Jackie blocked, evaded but couldn't keep up. One of Bruce's punches touched his ribs, lightly but enough. Pain reflected on Jackie's face. "You feel pain," said Bruce. "Good, pain is a teacher. But if you don't learn from pain, you're just a victim." Jackie stumbled, almost fell, but he maintained his balance. He brought his creativity into play. Suddenly he dropped to the ground, swept the leg. Bruce jumped, but Jackie had anticipated this. Immediately did a somersault and ran toward the opposite wall, took support from the wall and delivered a flying kick while spinning in the air. For the first time, Bruce was surprised, slightly. He blocked the kick but slid backward. Something changed in his eyes. Respect? Curiosity? Good, he said. You're showing imagination. You're using your environment. But imagination isn't enough. Now I'll show you reality. 4 minutes had passed. This time Bruce really attacked. Sudden attacks coming in bursts. The essence of Jeet Kune Do. Straight punches, side kicks, door-knocking speed. Jackie went on the defensive. His arms blocked, evaded, rolled. Every block made his arms throb. Bruce's strikes weren't hard as iron, but each one landed on sensitive points, at the right angles. Jackie was driven backward, approaching the hall's wall. Bruce was cornering him. The young man didn't panic. He'd been a stuntman for all these years. He'd found ways out of impossible situations. Suddenly he bent his knees, slid under Bruce's punch. Did a side somersault and gained distance. Survival instinct is strong, said Bruce. But instinct only gets you this far. The real question is, what lies beyond instinct? Jackie's head was confused, but he had no time to think. Bruce was coming at him again. This time it was different. More fluid, more unpredictable, as if choreographing, but every movement was born spontaneously. Jackie tried to respond, but was always one step behind. Bruce's foot touched Jackie's leg, a light sweep. Jackie lost his balance, fell to the ground. He immediately rolled, tried to get up, but Bruce was there. With a light pressure touched his shoulder and Jackie went down again. Getting up is easy, said Bruce, but getting up at the right time is hard. Timing is everything. 6 minutes had passed. Jackie was drenched in sweat, breathing hard. His eyelid was starting to swell, his lip was cracked. But that fire still burned in his eyes. He got up, this time more careful, more focused. Bruce noticed this too. The young man was learning. He was learning something from every fall. Why do you fight? Asked Bruce suddenly, while throwing a punch. Jackie responded while blocking. To survive. Wrong answer. Bruce's leg rose like lightning, took Jackie's balance. The young man fell to the ground but immediately rolled, got up. His knees were trembling, but that fire still burned in his eyes. Then why do you fight? Asked Jackie boldly. Bruce stopped. Not completely stopped, but for a moment his movement slowed. Then he smiled. A real smile. To express myself. Fighting is a language. I speak with this language. And you? What is your language? Jackie was going to say something but couldn't find it. He didn't know yet. And this answer was the answer itself. 7 minutes had passed, and at that moment something changed. Bruce's movement changed. He was no longer attacking. He was showing. Every punch a brush stroke, every kick a calligraphy. The hall was a canvas. Their bodies were brushes. Jackie felt this and suddenly understood. He stopped defending and began to respond. He was trying to speak in the same language. A rhythm formed between them. Bruce attacked, Jackie evaded and responded. Bruce blocked and came from another angle. They gradually accelerated. The hall filled with the sounds of two bodies, feet hitting the floor, the tempo of breaths, the silence of deep focus. Bruce noticed that Jackie was no longer just reacting. He was creating, adding his own movements, his own expression. It was raw but something authentic, and it was beautiful. 8 minutes had passed. Now, said Bruce, and let's see the real test. Let go of fear. Stop thinking, just be. And then Bruce released his full power. The speed, force, intensity he'd been holding back until now. Within seconds he surrounded Jackie, attacks coming from every direction. The young man blocked, but it was insufficient. Evaded, but his speed wasn't enough. Bruce's punch landed on his chest hard. Jackie's breath was cut off. A kick to his leg, he stumbled. A strike passed by his head, a centimeter away. Jackie's world narrowed. Pain, fatigue, confusion covered everything. He would fall, he knew it. It was over. But then, in a corner of his mind, he heard Bruce's voice. Express yourself. And at that moment something happened. Jackie stopped thinking. He let go of pain, fatigue, fear. He just was. His body moved automatically, but this time it was different. It wasn't technique, it was pure instinct. But a conscious instinct. It was like a paradox. Bruce's punch came. Jackie slid sideways, but at the same time turned. Offered his back to Bruce and threw an elbow. Bruce blocked, but was surprised. Jackie's energy had changed. The young man didn't just make a simple block. He caught Bruce's arm and, using his own momentum, pulled it sideways. At the same time raised a knee. Bruce retreated, smiled. That's it. Continue. 9 minutes had passed. Jackie's body was beyond now. Everything hurt. Blood and sweat covered his face. But his spirit was still there, perhaps stronger. Bruce and Jackie weren't just fighting anymore. They were communicating. Question and answer, challenge and response, master and student. Bruce made one last test. With full force, full speed, holding nothing back, he attacked. Within seconds, he cornered Jackie. There was no way out. A final punch was coming directly to Jackie's face with all his power. But Jackie did something contrary to logic. He didn't retreat backward. He dove forward, into Bruce's punch, so close that the punch couldn't find its target. And at the same time, Jackie's head was moving toward Bruce's chin. Not a headbutt, just a movement, an expression. A movement that said, "I'm not afraid." Bruce retreated, raised his hand. "Stop." 10 minutes were up. The clock was ticking silently. Both were standing, out of breath. Jackie was swaying but standing. Bruce looked at him, a long look. There was something in his eyes. Pride, sadness, perhaps both. Then he approached and touched Jackie's shoulder. This time soft, almost a paternal touch. 10 minutes, said Bruce softly. For 10 minutes you stood with me. Many masters can't do this. But you know, don't you? These 10 minutes are just the beginning. The real journey starts now. Jackie bowed his head, couldn't speak. Blood was seeping from his mouth, but his eyes were shining. "Sifu," he said finally, his voice hoarse. "Will you teach me?" Bruce shook his head, but not negatively, in a thoughtful way. "No," he said finally. Jackie's face fell. But Bruce continued. "Because you need to find your own way. My way is mine. Your way is yours. I can teach you Wing Chun, Jeet Kune Do, my philosophy. But it wouldn't be yours. It wouldn't be you." Bruce walked toward the wall. There was a water bottle there. He drank, then extended it to Jackie. The young man gratefully took it, drank. "But I'll tell you something," said Bruce. "What I saw tonight, your essence. Raw, unprocessed, but real. You're a creator, an acrobat, a comedian. I see this, but you need to learn to combine martial arts with this creativity. Nobody has done this before. You can." Jackie's eyes widened. "How?" "Practice, fall, suffer pain. Get up, again, and never, ever imitate. Learn from everyone, but don't be anyone's copy. The world needs one me, but it will need one you too. Your own Jackie Chan." Bruce turned, put on his shoes. Before leaving the hall, he looked at Jackie one more time. The young man was still standing there. Wounded but not broken, tired but not defeated. "I'll see you again," said Bruce. "One day, not too far in the future, everyone will hear your name. And I may not be there, but my spirit will be with you. And I'll be proud." The door closed. Jackie was left alone in the dim hall. He sat on the floor, in pain but filled with something. This was a promise, a blessing, a legacy, invisible but unshakable. Outside, Hong Kong's nightlights were flickering. The city didn't sleep, it never would. And in that hall that night, two spirits had met. One was leaving, one was arriving. But both would remain eternal. Years later, after Bruce Lee's passing, when Jackie Chan became a worldwide name, when he had millions of fans, when he'd signed hundreds of films, he never told anyone about this night. But in every film he made, in every dangerous stunt, in every laugh-filled, creative, uniquely his own scene, he carried the spirit of that night. He'd found his own way. He was expressing himself. And sometimes when left alone on sets, when looking at an empty hall, he would swear he heard Bruce's voice. "Express yourself. Just be you." And that's what he did, every day, with every movement, forever.